Pete Carroll is a Super Bowl winning head coach getting a hug from Russell Wilson.
Of course, Broncos country. Let's ride.
Give it our all, and it's unfortunate for us.
Jackson Dart will be starting for the New York Football Giants going forward.
Russell Wilson used to be one of the most feared quarterbacks in football, a Super Bowl champion, a Pro Bowler, a leader who could break defenses with his arm, his legs, and his magic in clutch moments. But today, that same quarterback is riding the bench, replaced by rookie Jackson Dart, and hearing fans chant for him to sit down for good. This might be the end of Russell Wilson. To really understand how shocking this is, you have to go back to where it all started.
With the 75th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Russell Wilson, quarterback, Wisconsin.
This is a kid I can't tell you how much I like.
Wilson was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks in 2012, a third-round pick who wasn't even supposed to be the starter. But from day one, he showed the traits that would make him a star. He was calm under pressure, deadly accurate on deep throws, and slippery in the pocket. His mobility allowed him to escape sacks and extend plays, and his famous moonball became one of the most beautiful passes in the league. Seattle had the Legion of Boom defense, Marshawn Lynch at running back, and a hungry young quarterback who played beyond his years. Within 2 seasons, Wilson had led the Seahawks to a Super Bowl title. The 2013 team dominated with defense, but Wilson's poise and playmaking gave them the edge. The next year, he was back in the Super Bowl again, 1 yard away from winning back-to-back championships. His early career was storybook stuff. By his 3rd year in the league, Wilson looked destined to go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of his generation. But that story took a turn. As the years went on, the Seahawks relied more and more on Wilson. By 2021, the relationship between Wilson and the team was sour. Wilson wanted out of Seattle. He pushed for a trade, believing he could be the star somewhere else. And then it happened. In 2022, the Seahawks traded him to the Denver Broncos in a blockbuster deal. The package was massive. 5 draft picks, including 2 first-rounders and 3 players, and a haul so big it rebuilt Seattle on the spot. The Broncos doubled down by handing Wilson a 5-year contract worth nearly $245 million, with $165 million guaranteed. This wasn't just a trade. It was supposed to be a franchise resurrection. Denver hadn't had a real answer at quarterback since Peyton Manning retired, and Wilson was expected to be the savior. Instead, it became one of the worst trades and contracts in NFL history. Wilson's first season in Denver was a nightmare. Under head coach Nathaniel Hackett, he looked lost. He held the ball too long, missed open receivers, and constantly killed drives. The same player who once extended plays with brilliance now just extended them into sacks. The same moonball that once dropped perfectly into his receiver's hands now floated too far, too short, or out of bounds. Wilson looked broken. Hackett was fired after just 15 games. Denver brought in Sean Payton, a Super Bowl winning coach known for his offensive genius, hoping he could fix Wilson. But even under Payton, Wilson didn't look like himself. He made a few improvements, but he was still a shell of the player who dominated in Seattle. He wasn't accurate, he wasn't mobile, and he wasn't winning. The Broncos made the decision that stunned the league. They cut Wilson, even though it meant taking on a massive dead money hit. It was one of the most expensive mistakes in NFL history. Denver was so desperate to move on that they were willing to eat $85 million just to get him out of the building. That's how far Russell Wilson had fallen. His next stop was Pittsburgh. The Steelers signed Wilson on the cheap, hoping maybe he had one more spark left. And at first, it looked like maybe he could steady the team. He led the Steelers to the playoffs, and people thought maybe Wilson still had something left in the tank. But then came the collapse. Pittsburgh went winless in their last 5 games of the season. Wilson's play dipped. His decision-making regressed. The magic was gone again. After his collapse in Denver and a brief, forgettable stint in Pittsburgh, Wilson landed in New York in 2025 with the Giants, a team desperate for quarterback help. Wilson's first game with the Giants against the Commanders was a disaster. He looked slow, indecisive, and got sacked repeatedly. Then came week 2 against the Cowboys, where Wilson shocked everyone by throwing for a career high in passing yards. But even with all those numbers, the Giants still lost. The brief flash of vintage Russ wasn't enough to win, and that's been the story of his career lately. By week 3 against the Chiefs, Wilson crashed back down to earth, posting awful numbers and showing that the Dallas game was just a blip, not a revival. Now, heading into week 4 of the 2025 season, Giants fans have made their voices clear. The chance for Wilson to be benched grew too loud to ignore, and the team finally made the move. Russell Wilson, once a Super Bowl champion, has been benched in favor of rookie Jackson Dart. Some of it isn't his fault. The Giants have a history of ruining quarterbacks. Since Eli Manning retired, the franchise has been a graveyard for the position. Daniel Jones failed there and is now thriving in Indianapolis. Maybe Wilson never had a chance in New York. But at the same time, great quarterbacks find a way, and Wilson hasn't found it in years. At this point, Wilson is destined to be a career backup, bouncing around teams and holding a clipboard. Or maybe he should save himself the embarrassment and retire with what little dignity he has left. The magic is gone. The locker room respect is gone. The results are gone. Russell Wilson's career has been a tale of two halves, the brilliant rise in Seattle and the painful fall everywhere else. And now, with Jackson Dart taking his spot, it looks like the final chapter is being written. What's left is a quarterback limping toward the finish line, being more remembered for the decline than the dominance. So what do you think? Is this truly the end of Russell Wilson's career, or will he somehow find another chance? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more football, click the video showing right now on your screen. Make sure to like this video and subscribe because we've got plenty more stories coming your way. Thanks for watching.